Hi, I'm here with Jessica Philippus, #1 ranked 105-pound amateur fighter. We're here at the G2 Summit in Las Vegas at Hooters Hotel and Casino, getting ready to go to the seminars. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So, first question that I want to ask you is your fighting career. We haven't seen you in quite a while since you fought Sarah Goodlaxon and defeated her. And ever since then, we have not seen you in the cage. We're curious, what's next? Are you going to stay amateur for a couple more fights? Are you ready to turn pro? What have you decided?
Well, I'm not going to be the eternal amateur. I did have plans on going pro. I actually accepted a few pro fights. One, the girl ended up backing out. And then the second one I accepted in May against Megan Wright, which was supposed to happen June 25th, and I found out the next day that I was pregnant. So it'll be probably about 10 months or so before I get back in there, but might, when I come back, maybe take a kickboxing match, do some grappling tournaments, and go pro from there.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the new arrival. You already have one child, so this will be your second, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So when you come back, after your pregnancy is over with and you have the baby, the girl, hopefully, what are your plans as far as weight division? Do you think that you'll be able to grapple and do kickboxing like you said and fight at 105 once again, or maybe 115?
No, 105s is where I belong. Even right now, 11 weeks along, I'm 115. So I don't really belong anywhere else other than 105. I don't really have to cut that much weight, never more than 7 or 8 pounds. So I really believe in. I feel like cutting weight makes you compete harder. I feel like it's half of the battle, and I feel like it's part of your duty as a fighter to cut a little bit of weight. So I don't really like or necessarily respect that much people who fight up and all that stuff. So 105s is where I belong, and that's where I intend on staying. I just got done with camp just this last week. Actually, the day I came here, we had a week-long camp at Missouri Valley College. It was for girls 8 to 18, and we had Sarah McMahon was our guest coach, and it was a pretty good week. It's not a super intense camp per se, like the kind I went to in high school. It's more of a fun all-girls camp, and girls from all over the country come, and it's just really neat to see the little ones all the way up to the ones getting ready to go into college. And we go over freestyle, folk style. We go swimming, we just do ridiculous things and be girls. I went to school with Melissa Sherwood and Tori Adams and Tanya Evinger and Lisa Ward. There's a lot, and there's more just now getting into MMA too that I'm sure you'll recognize shortly.
Before you became an MMA fighter, had you ever got into a fight? Have you ever been?
You set me up. I wasn't much of a fighter per se, but I did get in a little scuffle in college. Ironically, with Lisa
Alice Ward.
Lisa Ward, yeah.
But you guys are good friends now.
We're
right?
very good friends now, and we fought, and then there was a little. It ended up in a stalemate. It was just a silly brawl thing, and it wound up in a stalemate. I think one of the wrestler guys ended up just like, "That's enough. We can't watch girls beat on each other anymore." But we didn't talk for a little while, and then we became good friends. You
started a promotion with your husband?
Yes.
And it's called Fight the Process FTP out of Marshall, Missouri. Can you tell us about that? How did that work out? How was your first event?
It was May 13th and in Marshall, which is a pretty small town, but no one had brought MMA to Marshall before, and there's just not much to do in that town. Nobody was throwing a show within probably a 30 to 40 mile radius, and so we wanted to do it. It's just, we absolutely love MMA. People sort of knew us in the community. It's a small community, and so every time we won a fight or went and did something, they would put it in the paper. So people sort of knew that's what, Jessica and Rob did. So we figured, well, we'll bring a family-oriented show here. So we made it an all-ages event, no alcohol. We had fairly good attendance, a little over 400. Which isn't bad because I think our capacity was 450. So we did pretty good. I learned a lot of lessons as a promoter. Being a promoter absolutely sucks. I did all the matchmaking and the marketing and stuff, and my husband handles the money side of stuff. And we just learned a lot of lessons the hard way. We did have 3 female bouts out of 11, so I felt like we did pretty good representing the girls.
Speaking of the girls, as a fighter, you guys like to say that your fights are always the most exciting, the fans get into them the most. And how was your experience as a promoter looking at the girls fight? Would you say that the 3 female fights, were stood up with the male fights, exceeded the male fights? How did it work out for you with the females?
Absolutely. They represented. I had Chandra Engel, Nadia Nixon, and a girl named Brittany Heatherly, who Brittany had never fought before. She wrestles at Missouri Valley at 105, so I know her quite well. I actually, I don't train anybody. I don't like saying I don't have a team or anything like that, but she wanted to try this, and so she said, help me out, come spar with me. We're the same exact size, And we honestly practiced for about 3.5 weeks, and her fight was fight of the night. Like, her and Nadia had an exhibition match, and Nadia is a tough cookie, and she went 3 rounds with Nadia, and they had some crazy exchanges. There was good groundwork. She did like 2 suplexes, like just beautiful 5-point suplexes. Nadia got some head kicks in. It was absolutely fight of the night. It was the last fight it was the second to last fight of the night. And people were on their feet. The place was going crazy. It was awesome. I was just so proud of them. I love Nadia to death, and Brittany is definitely one to watch out for in the 105 division. With
the G2 Summit, you're actually a sponsor of this event. Tell us about the G2 Summit. What do you think, what's good about it?
I think it's awesome. It's just a culmination. I was part of of last year's G Fight event in Evansville, and I thought that was a really neat idea. Out in the middle of the Midwest, in the middle of nowhere. I thought that was great because it was kicked off with a fight and then a week-long event of just all things that make MMA what it is. Every discipline. It's just really cool to break it all down because I might have been a wrestler, but I am intrigued by, I want to go to the boxing seminar to see what Michelle Gutierrez has to say, because obviously we're 2 completely different disciplines, I definitely want to check out the jiu-jitsu seminars and see what they have to offer, because if there's one thing I learned in wrestling, it's that girls do things a little bit different than guys, and I may have great guys behind me, but, if I say, ew, that doesn't work for me. They think I'm crazy, and things just work different for girls. Our bodies are just different. So it's really neat to be able to have a one-stop shop event in Vegas. It's pretty cool too. But just a one-stop shop for all things women MMA. It's just really neat. So they asked me if I wanted to be part of it and sponsor the wrestling portion, and absolutely.
We want to say thank you to wrestler, MMA fighter, advocate, entrepreneur, Jessica Philippus. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.